because new data has revealed 44% of Aussie drivers would find it harder to give up their phone for a year than their car. I wonder if you're in that 44%. The revelations coincide with National Road Safety Week this week, and already this year, sadly, 72 people have died on our WA roads. Now, the data was released by the Australian Road Safety Foundation, and General Manager Donna Cayley told Stan Shaw on ABC Southwest Breakfast earlier today that road users are frequently disregarding road safety. Take a listen.
It's incredibly worrying, in these times with the road toll going in completely the wrong direction, that we hear that that road users are really just disregarding safety, their safety, the safety of others, the safety of family and friends. And, our message this year is it's time to choose road safety, and it's time to be more respectful, think about others and arrive home safe. I think it's important to find that new direction that we need to take and really put that focus on road safety over everything else, regardless of whether it's a mobile phone, social media, a cup of coffee. All of those things have to come second to the lives that we're losing on the road. And I can tell you, each and every family that we speak to, regularly that's lost someone would absolutely give up all of those things for a lifetime if it meant bringing back that one person that they've lost.
That's General Manager of the Australian Road Safety Foundation, Donna Cayley there. So why are we so addicted to our phones that we would rather risk our lives over them? And what can we do to break that phone addiction? Dr. Danielle Einstein is an adjunct fellow at Macquarie University and has spent over 30 years researching the relationship between our devices and our well-being. Dr. Einstein, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Sorry.
When you hear those statistics that 44% of Aussie drivers would rather give up their car than lose their phone, how do you react? Is that surprising to you?
No, I think the car's the perfect example to illustrate to everyone how much we've got that addictive pull to our phone, which for some people happens in their house, but for most of us will happen in the car. You just get in and you want to be on the phone straight away.
We know that phones are addictive, but why can we not stop touching our phones, especially when we're doing something like driving, which requires our full attention?
Well, it's because of conditioning. So what happens as soon as we see our phone or, in fact, our computer, we think maybe there's something good waiting for us there. And so we're drawn to reach out and touch it and have a look on there. And we're hopeful that there's going to be something good. And then sometimes there's something good and sometimes there isn't. But that's actually called intermittent conditioning, which is the strongest form of conditioning that you can have. So we can't help ourselves. We're all drawn to be on it unless we have really good device discipline in play.
So tell me about that device discipline. What does that look like for you, for example?
Well, it means not having my phone, which is going to be unpalatable to some people as I hear this, but I don't always have my phone on me. It might be in another room. It's in a different space. Same with my computer. It's not in my kitchen, because if my phone or my computer is in my kitchen, I'm much more likely to go over just to check, just in case there's something there. And then all of a sudden, as your listeners were saying, there goes half an hour, there goes 45 minutes, and my emotions are going up and down.
My guest today is Dr. Danielle Einstein from Macquarie University, has spent over 30 years researching the relationship between devices and our well-being. 1300 222 720 if you've got an observation or story to share. Maybe you've managed to break your phone addiction. How did you do it? 0437 922 720. Do we need to be taking a different approach when it comes to our devices, Danielle? Because we all know that getting behind the wheel when you've had a few too many drinks is a bad thing. We know that driving under the influence of drugs is a bad thing. But using your phone while you're in the car, it's still kind of accepted in a way, would you say?
Well, I think the data sort of shows that you're more likely to swerve if you're using your phone. You're less likely, you're going to be slower at seeing. If a dog runs on the road or a child steps into the road, you react more slowly. It is actually dangerous for us to be distracted by our phone and touching our phone while we're driving. So it is a bit of a wake-up call, this latest report.
I know that the work you've been involved in has been instrumental in driving social media reform. Tell us about the health campaign that you're actually pushing for.
Well, I just would like I'd like the government to be putting a health campaign out with really clear messaging about this addictive pull of our phones and our media use, because I think if we can all accept that there's an addictive pull, and once you get pulled in, you're there to try and stamp out uncertainty. And that's actually my area of research. It's how we respond to uncertainty, because if you don't like uncertainty, it actually fuels anxiety. And anxiety is the background to what we're seeing all around, and it crosses over a lot of other psychological problems. So to me, it's about both. The first step is recognising the addictive pull. The second step is recognising that we no longer are dealing with uncertainty very well. We're always looking for a quick answer or someone to support us.
I think that if this was something like drugs or alcohol, and maybe our education around it is slowly getting better, but if we were putting bottles of beer into the hands of 11-year-olds, I think that we would be talking about this a lot more, and how kind of addictive phones are. Is there more that can be done, I guess, to just make phones less addictive?
No, I don't think so, because it's actually even the connection. So it's just the fact that you get that dopamine hit by not knowing, oh, maybe there's someone good on the other end for me. Maybe I'm going to get a good piece of news. So I think it's much more about recognising the reason that we get pulled in, and it's triggering neurotransmitters in our brain. And it's kind of, if we don't have good control over it, it corrupts us. So we just need to recognise what it is, that it is like eating chips or chocolate. And if you get into bad habits and you're not willing to sort of really put it out of your sight, out of your reach regularly, it's very hard to help yourself. So you've heard many of your listeners, some have said they've got really good device control, they've just got good habits, and their family might have eat dinner without a phone around. No one has a phone near them. They're certainly not in their pockets, and not on their person. They might watch television together, but not have a phone or an iPad with them at the same time. So it's really about developing very strong habits.
So you think it's more about personal accountability rather than phone companies or the people behind social media apps taking, I guess, more accountability on their front?
Oh, no, I think we need every single level to have to come up with thoughtful solutions at every single level. So we definitely need the regulation for social media, because that's about the social media platforms being responsible for the age of which someone is using their platform. So an 11-year-old should not be on Instagram and watching reels. So I think the actual legislation is very important that we put in place, but we also need education for parents. We need education for schools. We need psychologists and doctors and paediatricians educated. They're also saying that, some of them are saying, the paediatricians, that they've given up, that they don't even ask patients in their room to take the phone away from the child who's in front of them. So we've I think part of the mental health crisis we've got has been due to a lack of acknowledgement of this addictive pull of technology and the way that it amplifies anxiety, because we're no longer good at handling uncertainty, and we're also using it to pick up our mood all the time, and we're losing those offline skills to pick up our mood.
Your text coming in. Hello to Patricia in Bicton. We are not all addicted to our phone. I totally hate my phone, but these days you need one to verify logins and IDs. I don't understand why people are so sucked in. Another texter, this is from Grant, says, yesterday on my walk after work, two young girls in their early 20s walked past me in the other direction. One was explaining to her friend where she puts her phone on the steering wheel while driving. Jiminy Crickets, Grant. Thank you for your text. Danielle, if you had some key advice when it comes to kicking the phone habit, what would be your top tips that our listeners could do today?
It's a pity men often don't have handbags, because if they could put it in a handbag, that would help them not reach for it. But basically put it out of your sight some of the time. Really just get used to building up your muscles of being able to be away from your phone, and just recognizing that it will pull you in if you can see it. So the better habits, and if you're a parent, and we all know that modeling is important to children, if we want to demonstrate healthy device use, we need to actually practice it. So we've all got to build up our muscles in order to get better mental health.
Dr. Danielle Einstein, thank you so much for your company.
Thank you for having me.
If you've got, something else to add to that conversation, have you managed to break your phone addiction? If you had one, 1300 222 720. And if you'd like to fess up and tell me what your average screen time is for the day, 0437 922 720. No judgment here. We've got Chella in the producer's booth who's sitting at about, 6 to 8 hours a day. That's incredible. Mine's, not much better, about 3.5. But, could be improved, absolutely.